Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today because today I have something extraordinarily special that I would like to share. So, if you follow me on socials, and by socials, I mean my Instagram and TikTok, you are likely aware that I have an upcoming workshop at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York. So, this catalog here might be a bit familiar. However, if you have no idea what I'm speaking about, that is exactly why I'm here today. And I have a very special guest, Karen, who delighted me several months ago when she even extended this invitation to me because my specific workshop is based on my most recent book, Create Your Own Table, A Guide to Discovering Your Purpose. And so with that, on July 24th, I will be at the Omega Institute teaching my workshop named similarly. So without further ado, Karen, thank you so very much for joining me today and just sharing with my audience all of the elements and the things that make Omega special because it is an extraordinarily delightful place.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Heather. I so appreciate the invitation to join you. And, I couldn't resist reaching out to you to invite you to Omega because I feel like your work is so potent and powerful and transformational and magical. And Omega, which I'll just mention, I have had the opportunity to serve as the senior director of programming there for almost a year. And one of the things that is such a joy is there is a synergy that occurs when amazing teachers come to our 250-acre campus, which is both beautiful with its nature and also incredibly supportive with all of the different offerings that are there that allow us, I think, to unplug from all the busyness of life and drop into a space where we're invited to connect with our own wisdom and really connect with what we most need. So I just wanted to kind of pepper onto what Heather will name about the content of her workshop, that I think there's also something about like the incredibly delicious, healthy meals, our housing, which is just sort of lovely to be able to take that time out of life to deepen in learning and then be able to go and rest and sleep deeply. A beautiful lake that we have with the possibility to do some canoeing in, a sanctuary that invites quiet and meditation, and daily offerings that we have that also really help to complement and support the workshop. So for those of you that haven't had an opportunity to come to Omega and maybe haven't had an opportunity to study and be in person with Heather, I think this is it. This is it.
It is
Right.
absolutely it. I would just like to take this opportunity to share that my entire premise is sharing lived experience and valuing the fact that so much of what we share or what we know, the life that we have led, has genuine value. The trouble is that for many of us, we have just not had that opportunity to identify what those things are, what that calling is that's on my soul that I need to get forward. And you don't know what the first step is. And I often say it's not that you have a lack of knowledge, you're just not valuing the knowledge that you have. And so throughout the entire weekend, that is what the focus is on valuing that knowledge. But as I was sharing, when I walked into the bookstore and I started to see all of the books around me, I realized, I was like, wow, nothing in life is coincidence. I genuinely felt like I read my way into the
Mm.
space that I now stand in. Looking at so many of the books that I read that sustained me and gave me something to hold on to during those times in my life where it felt so tumultuous, so uncertain. And so I looked at these books they felt like lifelines
Mm.
that literally just led me into the space that I was standing in. And I realized also that it was one of my motivations for writing this book because I wanted to be that source, that thing, that person that you could turn to when you're not certain what that clarity is and what any of these things are and what does any of it mean. But more than anything else, like where is the value? And I am so just I'm excited. I'm honored. I'm thrilled. It is, Omega is truly just a beautiful space where you can truly just engage mind, body, and spirit.
Mm, mm,
And to go into the sanctuary, like there's so many, and I would love for you to even just speak about that for a second,
mm,
that
mhm.
there's so many different places where, depending on where you are in your life, that you can get that support. You can, lean on resources. If you could just share a little bit. So yes, I'm sharing a lot about the tools that you can use that I'm able to provide, but then there's so many other external things that you can
Yeah.
use to just ensure and just boost yourself.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I have to say, I love what you just shared, Heather. Like it's so moving. Your offering in the world is so beautiful and so needed. And truly, I feel like there is this alignment with the work that you're doing and Omega's. For those of you that aren't aware, the mission of Omega is to awaken the best in the human spirit. And so we have this programming across the summer, Heather's workshop being one. And there's a thoughtfulness of how it's held that as people gather on that Friday evening, there's about 2 hours together. And then Saturday, there's a 3 hour session in the morning and a lengthy, 2.5 hour break, and then 2.5 hours together. And then another 3 hours on Sunday morning. And I mentioned that schedule because what's held around that are various optional activities. So if one wants to go and be in the meditation in the sanctuary, that's just a beautiful area on the campus, or there's daily classes around yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or, different movements. So ways to be in gentle movement, ways to be still. I think also people often find it to be what's the word? Like restorative and
Yes,
connective,
yes,
both to walk on the land and also to be in community with others. So I
yes.
feel like there really is this intentionality of wanting to create community where people do feel a sense of arrival and comfort and belonging and like show up as you are. And we're here to support you collectively as a staff and as a land as well. So I do think those elements offer a lovely kind of like a bookend holding to the beautiful content that people are receiving in the workshop. Yeah.
Absolutely. It is wonderful to be
Mm.
seen. And that's genuinely how I felt. It was not, there was not a single individual that I walked past with the obligatory nod. It was genuinely, how are you today? Nice to see you. How is your day going? And I was just, it's the little things in life that are the big
Mm.
things, right? And that is one of the things that I always share, even in the things that we do, in the efforts that we make, in the challenges that we're experiencing. It's always just those little things that become the
Mm.
big things. But with those very simple greetings, it made me also feel very grounded. And it is definitely one of the reasons that I would like to invite you all. Just if you feel called and you just realize that you are at a place in your life where you're looking for that clarity, you're not certain what the next step is and what any of it looks like,
Mm.
I would welcome you to join us and join us collectively, not just my workshop, but everyone else that will be part of or that is part of Omega, supporting you on your journey. I feel like I have to mention something. As I was driving up to the campus, I had a thought that never occurred to me ever before, thinking of life as really just a very huge piece of fabric,
Mm.
and the failures that we endure and that we experience and the challenges and the complications that we often struggle with as being an expert tailor.
Mm.
And so for those of you who know me, I always share, if it wasn't for my failures, I would have absolutely nothing. If I didn't go through those challenges, there would be nothing for me to share. I couldn't help you. I would be completely useless. But I realized, I'm like, hold on a second. Those failures were like the most expert tailor
Mm.
that you would ever meet, because it truly just cut off all of the things that didn't serve me
Mm.
and allowed me to have and create a life that actually fit. And I feel like for so many of us, we rather just wear the loose clothes and say that it's comfortable rather than allowing the alterations to happen. Because during those periods of alterations, it just doesn't feel good. And I started to think of my program, and I'm like, you know what my goal is, as I was setting my intention, for you to genuinely just discard all of those things that no longer serve you and see what's left that you may not have even recognized before. Because that's the thing about life, right? You know, we know in general what we'd like to have happen, but then life shows up and you see something else. And so whatever that outfit is for you, whatever that garment is that you're desirous of putting on and wearing and presenting to the world, my intention is truly that by the end of the weekend, you would have more clarity on what fits you and what is genuinely you, and you're not borrowing somebody else's garments. We are truly just creating your own. And you know, it's one of the things, like when I call this book Create Your Own Table, because the primary purpose of a table is to serve. And so the goal is just to serve you in the best way possible and to allow you to be able to build that table that allows you to be able to express you as you truly are, honoring all of you. So, Karen,
Woo! I
we're
love
here
that.
for all of it.
This is
But
juicy.
that was genuinely, and I genuinely never thought of that before, but I was just like, my goodness, our failures are truly like an expert tailor. You know, if it wasn't for all of these alterations, I would not be living in a life that genuinely fits me. And so, yes, but there's something else that I have to share. So I also have these quote cards, these quote decks that are now available at the bookstore at Omega. That is the only place, aside from meeting me at a live event, that these are available. So I would be sure to make sure that all of the information and all of the details are in the description. But yes, I do hope to see you all weekend of July 24th through 26th at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York. Karen,
And
is there
just
anything else that I'm
I
leaving
don't
out?
think so. Just so looking forward to welcoming you and others. And I know Heather will put the information about how to register. And we have an amazing registration team. And one of the things that I sort of chuckle about this, but it's unique about Omega, people actually like answer the phone and they're helpful. Like
Sure.
there's no, like you don't even have to push an extension. Like you call, there's a human that
There's a
will
person.
answer questions and help. So I love the kind of old school
Yes.
human to human approach to that as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Heather. A delight joining you today and can't wait to see you
Absolutely.
soon.
And thank you so very much. And I hope to see you guys. And as always, I hope this message serves. If you have any questions or comments, just put them below. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.